Cryptosporidia is an organism that can infect swimming pools. This is what it looks like. What you've got here, the pink bits are the actual living organism, and they're contained inside a protective spore. That's called an oocyst. It's like an egg or a shell, spelt OOCYST. The way that this organism can get into swimming pool water is typically by a person that has been infected using the pool while they've still got the organism in their system. It gets into humans and animals via fecal contamination, so the accidental ingestion of fecal contamination, which dirt, unhygienically prepared food, for example, or indeed swimming in a swimming pool that somebody who has had Cryptosporidium has released fecal contamination into. So it causes an infection of the intestines. So someone that's been infected with it is going to be suffering from vomiting and diarrhea. It affects everyone's vulnerable, but younger people are more vulnerable to this than anybody else. The incubation period is about 7 days on average, but it can take up to a month to completely get over the infection. So the size of this, it's a microscopic parasite. It's 3 to 5 microns in diameter, which is really small. In fact, it's small enough to be able to make it through a traditional sand filter, which is why a process called coagulation is so important in commercial swimming pools. Advice to swimming pool operators is that people that have been infected with it shouldn't go swimming for 14 days. 14 days from when they recover. Whereas the advice for sort of, if there is such a thing, normal diarrhea, is that people shouldn't go swimming for 48 hours if they've been suffering from diarrhea. But if they've been suffering from diarrhea that's been specifically caused by Cryptosporidium, then they shouldn't go swimming for 14 days. But in practice, it's quite difficult for a pool operator to be able to become aware of something like that. But that's how long it can take to work its way through the system. Basically, what it does is it's a parasite that needs a host, and it can last in the environment. It can last for up to 6 months in the environment, waiting for a host, and it'll be inside this cocooned, if you like, inside this oocyst. Just waiting to be ingested. It goes down into the stomach, and the stomach acids kind of break down the oocyst, and it can hatch out, and it goes through its life cycle inside the person. The life cycle involves the production of millions more of these infective spores, and the poor person that's been infected is vomiting and they've got liquid diarrhea. So it's reintroducing the contaminant back into the environment, where the whole process can repeat again. Probably the worst thing of all about this particular contaminant that pool plant operators need to be acutely aware of, and that is that it is completely chlorine resistant. So the levels of chlorine that you've got in your swimming pool might be fine for bacteria, Legionella, E. coli, etc. It will not be able, though, to penetrate through the oocyst shell lining and get to the actual Cryptosporidia itself. The way to deal with Cryptosporidium, the primary way of dealing with it in commercial swimming pools, is to filter it out, but you need a coagulant working in your filter or with your filter to be able to achieve that.